Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer and welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I'm continuing my 2d6 dungeon, well actually 2d6 realm game. My hero Tanidam has entered the dungeon. Now if you didn't watch the previous two videos, you definitely want to go back and watch them so you'll understand where I am in the process. Tanidam has come down to the dungeon, level 1. I have 6 health currently, 60 XP from when I fought a creature upstairs, 2 shift, and a combat armor of 5 with a -1 modifier. My 2 attacks are stroke and slash. These will become, this information will become useful once we get into a combat. When you enter the dungeon, you have to come in the entry room. The entry room, I will start down here, and you roll the dice, primary, secondary. The entry room will always be at least 6 squares big, no bigger than 12. I rolled a 1x6. Well, that's fine. I can make that a 2x6 room, and it will always have 3 exits that are open corridors. They don't have doors. You don't have to worry about locked doors or anything. So let's just make a 2x3 room. I'll put an exit here, an exit here, and an exit here. And these are all corridors, which I draw with a little curved symbol. And this is the entry room. Now, as you move around the dungeon, you'll roll these dice to see what types of, where you go, whether it's a hallway or a larger room, and you'll always be rolling the primary, secondary. So let's go through this west door, this one. I rolled a 3-4. And by the way, if you ever roll doubles, you immediately roll another green, red, or primary, secondary, and add those to the first one. So you could get a really big room this way. You don't, if you roll doubles on the second one, you don't keep doing that. You just do it one time. So, but I rolled a 3x4 room. I treat this as the x-axis, and this is the y. So it will go over 3 and up 4. So over 3, 1, 2, 3, and up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what I do is I draw the corners of the room, not the walls, and then I roll a d6 to see how many exits. 6, if I look at this cheat sheet, is 3 exits. So I'll call one of them the one I came from. We'll go 1 to the north and 1 to the west again, and then seal this up. After you determine the room, you have to see what type of room it is. Now this is room number 1. So you want to always track your room, just take notes. You go to the table codex for this. There are 10 levels in this dungeon, and the tables are broken up by levels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the table, the level 1 and 2 tables. They're on page 133. And it has all these tables which refer to level 1 and level 2 encounters and things, like doors, rooms, etc. This is a normal size room. A small room is 6 squares or less. A normal room is anything between 6 and 32, and anything over 32 is a large room. So this is a normal size room. And for this, I look at the table. For a level 1 normal room, it's on page 42. So I flip to page 42, and there's a set of primary, secondary dice for the table. So I roll this, and I rolled a 5-2, primary 5, secondary 2. And I always write this down just so I remember it, so that if I ever need to go back and reference that room, I'll remember what number. So if I look on here for 5-2, I come down where the primary is 5 and the secondary 2, it says it's sleeping quarters. So I write that down, sleeping quarters. And a lot of people that play this game, they'll add artwork to the room. They'll draw in beds and details. I just want to play the game. I'm just drawing a plain old walls and doors dungeon. So for the 5-2, it says sleeping quarters. You read the description. Behind 2 curtains, 1 on each side, are neat wooden framed beds. Then you read the encounter. Someone jumps up. Roll on L1R. You see a religious carving atop a cupboard. Roll on RATT1. Random doors, and it's not unique, meaning this room can occur again. If it's unique, if you roll it, a unique room that you've already encountered on a level, you re-roll it. It's only per level. So if I encounter this room again, I can draw another one. So what I have to do is I have to roll on L1R. Now in the back of the book, just like the 2d6 dungeon book, is a list of tables with their acronym. So I want L1R? L1R. and they're alphabetical. So L1R is a level 1 religious enemy, and it's on page 38. So you turn to page 38, and level 1 religious enemy. It's a D6. I rolled a 4. A 4 is an infernal monk. So I write that down, infernal monk. And remember, the room said that if I after I defeat him, I can roll on RATT1 for a reward. So now what you do is, just like in 2D6 Realm, there are creature cards that I have to go reference. This is a level 1 creature, and it's called an Infernal Monk. So let's go find it. And where are you? There it is. I will put this card up on screen so you can follow along. The Infernal Monk has 6 health, same as me. I normally have 10, but I took some damage and I haven't healed yet. I do have a healing potion on me that can take me back up to 10. Not over 10, but up to it. The monk gives me 15 XP, and it has 1 shift, meaning it can assign 1 point to change the face of an attack die by 1. If it had 2 shift, it could apply 2 points. 2 to 1 die or 1 to each die. It doesn't matter. So it starts with 1 shift. I have 2 shift, and it blocks, just like I have armor, it has armor. It has what's called a heat wave, so it's magic. It blocks on primary 2s and 5s. I use green dice to indicate primary values and red for secondary, so it doesn't have any secondary blocks. The bad news for me is my stroke, it hits on a primary 2, secondary 3. Well, a primary 2 he blocks on, and he will block 1 of the damage that I do with that attack. So let's go ahead and attack him. We're on turn number 1. I rolled a 1-4. With 2 shift, I could get this to a 2 by giving it 1 point, and I could take the other point and take this 4 down to a 3, which is a hit. It is a stroke. It does D6 plus 1 damage, but remember, the Infernal Monk blocks on a primary 2 at -1, so it's really just a D6. I rolled a 6. He has 6 health, and in one sweep of my sword, he is defeated. He gives me 15 XP, so I'm up to 75 out of 100, which is awesome. 100 will get me to level 2. Now, not only do I get the roll on RATT1, he has a treasure. It says roll on Religious Pouch Table 1 and add 1. The Religious Pouch Table is on page 25. Religious Pouch Table 1, and you roll 2d6 and add them, because it's a 2 to 12, and I get to add 1 to the total. That is a 10 plus 1 is 11. And 11 says inside a pouch is a symbol of a tree carved in horn. So I have a carved tree symbol. Horn. Inside is a symbol carved in horn. Carved horn piece. Okay. And it also says 10 gold. Woohoo! All right. I can pay my taxes when I go back to the surface. Gold, silver, copper. I now have 10 gold. 10 gold is 100 silver, so that's great. That is the reward. But remember, I also get to roll on RATT1. And RATT1, I don't know what that's called Religious Artifact, page 27. So let's go to page 27. Religious Artifact. I just rolled 2d6. There's no modifier. I rolled an 8. There is a fine ceremonial silk robe worth 2d6 silver. That is 5 silver. So I got a silk, excuse me, Religious Artifact. I rolled a, what did I roll? An 8. A silk robe. And, you want to write all this down because when you get back to town, you can sell it. Worth 5 silver. And a potion of fidelity, which I can sell. I'll go check out what it is first. And an empty pouch. So I have an empty pouch to store something. Empty pouch. Okay. And that was the encounter. And that's how combat goes. And that was a very quick combat, but you be grateful. All right, let's see. We have 2 doors. Now we have to roll. Remember, the room said that those were random. So because they're random, I'm pretty sure they were random. Let me double check that. I rolled a 5-2 sleeping quarters. Sleeping quarters have, where are you? Level 1, room, 5-2, random. Okay, so random doors. So I come back to the first chart on the level 1 stuff. And usually it's the very first or second page. Here it is. Exits for level 1. You roll randomly. I rolled a 3-4. 3-4 is wooden door. So there are wooden doors in this one. Now, I can't remember if the rules say to roll for each door. I usually don't, but I think I will for this one. For the north door, I rolled a 1. Unlocked. For the west door, I rolled a 2, unlocked. So they are both unlocked, which means I can go through them. So let's do this. Let's go through the west door. What I try to do when I explore a dungeon is I try, instead of going right up the middle, I try to go around and come back to where I am. It just feels right, like I'm not retreating, which you can't do in this game, by the way. Let's go through this left door and see what's here. We have a 5 foot or a 5 square by 4 square room. So 1, 2, 3, 4 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. So I can't draw it, but what I can do is I can do a 5 by 4. So I'll just you can sometimes fudge it and rotate the room to get what you need. So I'll make it a 5 instead of a 5 by 4 room. It's a 4 by 5 room. 6 one, half dozen the other. I draw the 4 corners and roll for exits. A 6 is 3 exits. Well, I'll count this as 1. I'll count this as 2, and there will not be a 3rd exit because it's in the corner of the dungeon. Okay. Now let's roll for what this room is. This is going to be room number 2. We go back to page 43, and we roll our primary and secondary. I rolled a 3-3. Now doubles on the room type, you don't roll extras just for the size of the room. A 3-3 is a shackle room. Shackle room. It says, shackles and chains hang from the stone walls, and a cage stands in one corner. A form moves from the darkness. Roll on table L1W0. L1, I think that's a level 1 worker. If you survive, roll on ENP1. So L1WO is a level 1 worker, I'm pretty sure. L1W0. Yes, page 38. So we've got combat coming. Page 38. A level 1 worker is right here. Roll a d6. I rolled a 1, which is a thug. All right, so we have a thug to fight. Go get the card. Thug. All right, the thug, 3 health. Not too bad. 3 health, and he has 1 shift, and he blocks on secondary 4s, which is bad for my slash. It only takes off 1 damage, but hey, it's still a block, which is never good. Turn number 1, I will come out swinging at this guy. I rolled a 3-2. With 2 shift, I can flip this to a 2-3, which is a stroke. He does not block. It is D6 plus 1. As long as I roll a 2 or higher, I kill him. I rolled a 1. So he's got 1 health left. He comes at me with a 2-3. He only has 1 shift. He needs a 3-2. He can't flip-flop these, so he misses. Turn number 2, I come out swinging. 4-3. With 2 shift, I can make this a 2-3, which does D6 plus 1. He only has 1 health, and he dies. I get 6 XP, so I'm up to 81. If I can find the 8. There we go, 81. he has no treasure, but remember, I get to roll on ENP1 if I defeat him. So ENP1 is Encounter Prisoner, page 34. Prisoner, in ENP1, roll 2d6. That is a 2. Lying face down is a man. He is motionless, so you cut the binds on his hands, but he turns and attacks. Face an infernal monk. Didn't I just fight one of those? I can't remember. No, I didn't. Is that right? No, that's not it. Let me see. Fought a thug and I did fight the infernal monk. So that yeah, okay. Let's see. Another one. Okay. This is in the same prison. So now I've got to fight another infernal monk. The good news is if I defeat him, I'm going to make it to level 2. I'll level up. He has 6 health. He has 1 shift. And he blocks on primary 2s and 5s. 2 and a 5. I will, on round number 1, I will come out swinging. And I miss with a 1-1. Total miss. He swings with a 2-2. With 1 shift, he cannot get that to a 3-3 or a 2-6. He misses. Turn number 2. I swing with a 1-6. With 2 shift, I can't do anything with that. I miss. He swings with a 5-3. With 1 shift, he can only get this down to a 4-3. He misses. Turn number 3. I swing with a 4-1. With 2 shift, I could get this to a 3, but not to a 2. I miss. Man, he rolls a 5-4. Now with 1 shift, he can't do anything. He misses. When we hit turn number 4, we both get a bonus shift. So I have 3 shift to use. And it doesn't matter. When you roll an exact match, a slash is a 6-4. I rolled a 6-4. When you do that, you get to add your shift. So he doesn't block on it. It is a d6 plus 2 damage, but I'm also adding 3 shift, which is 5. So d6 plus 5, I can't roll anything less than a 1, and 1 plus 5 is 6, and he dies. I love that rolling of a match. All right, the Infernal Monk gives me 15, which takes me up to 90. Oh, no, it's 96. I did not level up. Shoot. Can't do basic math right now. 96. I do get to roll on Religious Pouch Table 1 and add 1. So let's go back. Was it page 23? I can't remember. Page 23, Religious Pouch Table. That was just a pouch table. Religious is probably on the next page. Here it is. Religious Pouch Table 1. And I get to add 1 to the total of these 2 dice. 3 plus 1 is 4. Nothing. The pouch is empty. All right. So we are done with him. There is a door to the north, which, if I remember right, on the Shackle room, let me go back to page 42. 3-3, the Shackle room was reinforced doors. Sometimes you don't roll. You don't roll randomly. It tells you what the doors are. Now, the reinforced doors, you have to see if they're locked. They will be locked on a 5 or a 6. I rolled a 3, so they are unlocked. And I will go through them. So we'll go through it. And there is a big room, 6 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many exits? 6 is 3. I will just put 1 here and 1 here. And we'll count the third one as the one I came through. All right. This is going to be room number 3. Let's roll to see what it is. It is a 2-2. Let's go to page 43 and see what this is. 2-2 is Scuffed Up Space. It says, there's a pile of rubbish here on the floor, and it is covered in scuff marks. You can check it. Roll on RUPT1, and then roll on IAUT1. So there's going to be a surprise after I do it. The scuffed up space has archways, so I don't have to roll for doors. And let's roll on RUPT1. What is that? RUPT1 is rubbish pile, page 27. Rubbish pile. Roll 2d6, Adam. That is a 9. On closer inspection, it's the burnt remains of an animal and the fragments of bone. I will take the bone fragments. You can offer those sometimes to the gods and goddesses. Okay. And then it says I have to roll an IAUT1. That's called the interrupt table. Interrupt table is on page 36. The interrupts are often not good. They're usually dangerous. Interrupt table 1. I rolled a 3-6. 3-6. After a careful search, you find a concealed door. Behind it is a small altar to a god, an image of whom is carved on the wall. There is a slot for small items. Roll on GOT1 to identify the god, and if you make an offering correctly, you gain 1 favor point. The god table is on, I forget where it is. It's, let's see, it's up here at the beginning. The God table, come on, where are you? It's on page 15. Okay, GOT1, right here. Roll a d6. I rolled a 3. Meduva. There is a Meduva shrine here. Meduva. And let's see the Meduva. I can't remember what her special cards that she likes are. Hang on one second. I've got them right here somewhere. Where are they? Come on, Jim. What'd you do with them? Meduva. Huh. I'm having trouble finding them. Okay. Oh, maybe is this them? Nope. What did I do with them? That's weird. Oh, maybe I put them in here. Nope. Okay, well, I do apologize. I'm not going to worry about it right now. We're just going to keep moving forward. I have misplaced the gods and goddesses cards somehow. All right, there are archways. Let's go north through the archway here. Let's see where it leads. It's a room, 4x3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. How many exits? 3 is 1 exit, so we will put that continuing to the north. And this is going to be room number 4. And we roll to see what it is. It is 1-3. Page 43, 42. A 1-3 is a guard post. A small burner provides warmth for 2 chairs around a low table. It is lit and casts shadows. There is someone here. Roll on L1G. If you survive, roll on IAUT1. Okay. Reinforced doors. Are they locked? 2. No, they are unlocked. Okay. Let's go to... Let's roll on L1G, level 1 guard. Level 1 guard is going to be found on page 38. Page 38, level 1 guard, right here. Roll a d6. 4 is a guard. All right, we're going to be fighting a guard. Let me get that card out. He's a level 1. Where are you? Guard. There it is. Okay. All right. I will put this on the screen for you. The guard has 7 health. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The guard has 1 shift. It blocks on secondary 3s and 5s. Which is bad for my stroke, but not for my slash. That's good. All right, turn number 1. I will attack him. And I rolled a 4-1. With 2 shift, I could get this to a 3, but not to a 2. I miss. It attacks me with a 1-2. With 1 shift, it can't get to a 5 or a 6 primary. It misses. Turn number 2. I roll a 3-4. With 2 shift, I can't get this to a 6, but I can use 1 point to lower this to a 2 and 1 point to lower this to a 3, which is a stroke. It does block on secondary 3s at -1. So instead of doing D6 plus 1, it just does D6. I rolled 5. I'll take that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 2 health left. Swings at me with a 6-1. Oh, with 1 shift, it can turn this to a 6-2, which is a swipe. It is D6 minus 2. 6 minus 2 is 4. I am down to 2 health. I am going to use my potion of health on my next action on turn number 3 to take me back up to 10, but I lose my attack. And he will attack on turn number 3 with a 6-4. With 1 shift, he cannot make this a 6-2, and he can't make it a 5-3. He misses. Turn number 4, we both get a bonus shift. I attack with a 5-4. A 4-5. With 3 shift, 2 and 2. I don't have enough to get this to a 2-3. But I do have enough to get it to a 6-4. I'll use, out of my 3, I'll use 2 to turn this to a 6. And the remaining 1 to turn this to a 4. That is a 6-4. He doesn't block on it, and it does D6 plus 2. He's only got 2 health left. It doesn't matter, and he dies. He gives me 13 XP, so 4 of that will take me up to 100, and then 109. So I have 109 XP, and more importantly, I level up to level 2. So I immediately go up to 20 health, and it says roll on pouch table 1 at -1. That was on page 23, I think. Pouch table 1, you roll 2d6 and subtract 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. Nothing. All right. And then it said after you defeat the guard, roll on IAUT1. And IAUT1 was on page 37. IAUT1. Primary, secondary. A 6 and a 5 is 6 and a 5. Excuse me. You don't add these. 6, 5 is... There is a tall cabinet standing to one side. Its doors are thick and heavy. As you pull it, it tips over. Roll 2d6 and add your discipline. My discipline is +1. If you roll over 7, you avoid the cabinet. Otherwise, you take 2 hit points damage. So add 1 to this. I got an 8 plus 1 is 9. It is greater than 7, so I avoid it. So the cabinet does not tip over on me. All right, I'm going to have to stop there. I keep these at 30 minutes or less, so I hope you'll join me in the next episode. We'll continue pushing on into level 1. I just leveled up, which is excellent, and that's always good to be at level 2 with full health. We will see what happens. At some point, I am going to have to return to the surface, but I do have money to pay my taxes. So this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. This is my 2d6 Realm campaign. I hope you'll continue to join me in future episodes. I'll be back in a week with another one. Until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.